So, hey guys, welcome to this brand new testimonial video. Today, I have with me my friend, a very good guy, a confident, somebody I can talk to, somebody who is very, very intricate in his approach towards fitness and in life. And he's going to be sharing with us his experience in our 90-day body recomposition ISP. So, let us welcome on board Mr. Animesh Kumar Das, or Animesh KD as he likes to call himself. So, Animesh, how are you doing today?
All good, Amitos. A new day, feeling very fresh, and always great to talk to you anytime.
Amazing. Likewise, brother, likewise. So, Animesh, before we begin, I'd like for you to introduce yourself, tell our viewers a little bit about who you are, what is it that you do for work, where are you calling from, and how we got in touch, and how we are doing such amazing results together in regards to your fitness.
Yeah, so my name is Animesh, and I'm CEO of Acco Insurance. This is one of the online insurance company. I stay in Bangalore, have been here for 7, 8 years, was in Mumbai before that. Mumbai, as you know, is a more hectic city.
Hmm.
Bangalore kind of figured out if we can do some fitness activities and all picked up, but didn't maintain. That's how I got in touch with Amitoj. And now I think I'm living a refreshed life altogether. Married and no kids yet, but yeah, that's broadly what it is.
Great. Amazing, amazing. That was a very lovely, very concise intro. And this is what I love about Animesh. I mean, he's very, very concise and intricate with his approach. There's no here, there's no there. So just to give you a little bit of an insight, you guys have probably seen the testimonial of Harshveer. He's all over our Instagram, all over our YouTube as well. So Animesh also happens to be a very good friend of Harshveer. And he saw his dedication and got motivated firsthand by his experience itself. And Animesh, like I didn't have to counsel him through anything. He came into the program with a relentless mindset. And here we are today, like 13 kgs lighter and progressing very, very vividly towards our peak week. So ठीक है अनिमेश, अब थोड़ी फॉर्मेलिटी कम करते हैं और थोड़ी इंग्लिश में बात करते हैं. तो ये तो चलो पता चल गया कि हाउ वी गॉट इन टच एंड व्हाट यू वांटेड टू डू इन रिगार्ड्स टू योर फिटनेस. So let's begin by you telling our viewers what were the predominant changes you started seeing जब हमने साथ काम करना शुरू किया, which kind of strengthened your belief that okay, this is going to work for me and I just better be relentless and very very intricate about it. तो क्या ऐसे चेंजेस थे जिन्होंने आपको मोटिवेट किया टू मेक श्योर दैट वी रीच एट दिस पिनेकल वेयर यू आर एट राइट नाउ?
Cool. I think most of us we understand कि health fitness ये important है, सबको समझ में आता है. Somehow we have excuses or we have mental block कि work है, work life balance है, family है, you have to figure out time with family and all. तो कहीं ना कहीं हम अपने आप को excuse दे देते हैं या समझा देते हैं कि नहीं हो पा रहा. Somehow I think it was somehow playing out for me as well कि यार बहुत बिजी है लाइफ नहीं हो पाएगा एंड ऑल राइट सो दैट वेयर आई वाज ब्लॉक्ड and that's when I met Harshveer, which Amitoj mentioned about. As in, like I saw him. He has been my friend for some time now, and I'll rather correct it. Not I'm not his friend, but a fan now actually. So Amitoj,
Yeah.
so Harshveer went through Amitoj's program, the ISP program, which you just mentioned, and I can see the changes, right? And that was the biggest motivation. I was not sure of whether I believe in coaching for sure. I believe that you need a mentor, you need a coach to kind of guide you through, and that gives me confidence. I can get the best out of me if I get guidance. That's true for me, and for most of us, I believe. So when I saw that evident, I used to daily walk with Harsh, go out with him, so I can see the transformation live, right? So that was the biggest motivation for me, and then I signed up with Amitoj. My clear focus, I always had, like I said, right? Most of us have this back of my mind कि health करना है, fitness करना है, fit रहना है, because that gives you very positive vibe, right? You are at your best when you are fit. Otherwise, most of your body functions, even like the brain also doesn't work the best when you are not the most fit, even physically for that matter, right? तो मुझे वो achieve तो करना था. This was pending for me, like for good enough time, like pre-COVID, like almost 4 5 years for me, right? So this was pending. I was not able to gather confidence. I was not able to figure out how to kind of focus on this. I think that's when I signed up with you, Amitoj, and I think I am extremely happy. This is the best phase of my life in terms of achieving this mental fortitude to kind of get here, right? And it was impossible without you. I can give you 100% credit on what I have achieved. But the transformation which I've got, more than physical, actually is the mental transformation in terms of you feeling confidence in day to day of your activity, not just personal, but even work, right? So great outcome for me. The reason to do it very sharply was because Amitoj as a coach and the examples, right? So it's not just Harsh. There are so many other folks who actually work together in the same program with Amitoj. I can get motivated the way they move, the confidence they pass on to the group, the good feeling they get out of this program, right? So it motivates me that you cannot give up. I never felt a feeling of give up, honestly. It was always motivating. It was always encouraging when most of the folks are doing so great and they're sharing so many good words about the whole group.
Mm.
So I think it was a very positive environment. And if there's a positive environment, you always move forward and you feel good and you never take a step back. So that worked for me.
Amazing, amazing. He so beautifully summed up everything that went in the past 90 days. And now we are going to be nearing our peak week, wherein, we are going to make sure that all the aesthetics that ever exist in Animesh's anatomy, his muscular anatomy, they are going to be out to display. So we'll probably put his before and after pictures. And very amazing points that he mentioned. Number one, physical health and mental health are related. I mean, isn't it like such a blatant fact that people keep on telling us if you are not physically fit, you won't be mentally fit either? And I remember we had such a vivid discussion about the same, and Animesh was so subservient to the process. He's like, Coach, if I commit to something, I give you my word, whatever you say, it is going to be done, something like that. And with his diet, with his check-ins, like he's given me credit, I am gonna give him credit for the fact that how disciplined he was, which has resulted in such an amazing transformation. I mean, it's a completely different person, if you see his before pictures and his now pictures. So it's completely amazing. And the positive environment that he spoke about is our ASF Superstars group, wherein all of us are constantly trying our very very best, not just to keep ourselves on track and keep ourselves motivated, but to also motivate our fellow other ASF superstars as well. And he has been an ultimate factor in making sure that all the other ASF superstars have also been motivated, because he was so consistent with the his progress. And what I can also think of is that every week when we spoke, I always discussed on how immaculate Animesh's approach was. And that has resulted in not just him transforming, but also making sure that the other members, including myself in the group, we pull our socks and we always have the competition going within ourselves. So really, really amazing, Animesh. तो चलो फिर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछता हूँ जो मैंने आपके लिए लिख रखा है. So you said that you got into it, and this was something जो पिछले 3-4 साल से या 4-5 साल से it was just at the back of your head, but you couldn't execute it. So I want to ask you, what was the one part of the program that you liked about the most, and that you feel has been a primary contributor in your success?
So I think, and actually, I wanted to emphasize a bit on this, maybe applicable to me, but I'm sure for others as well. So the reason where I was not very confident of getting into a fitness regime through coaching was because this is my feeling that most of the time when I read about something or get in touch with someone, I think it's over-indexed on some kind of supplement. It's over-indexed on some kind of pathway which is not sustainable.
Hmm.
You'll do it for those 3, 4 months, 6 months, whatever the regime is. But I never believed that this is something which you can do, right? So the first conversation and I had with you as well, Amitoj, I think what clicked with me was that the way you have shaped this program for us is easily sustainable. Today also, I'm following it. I can easily manage to follow it in like all my life. And it works, it'll work for me. It'll work for my fitness next 40 years also, not just 4 years, not just 4 months or 3 months, right? So I think that clicked with me very well. And I was looking for this actually. That's the reason that there's a mental block. I'm not getting something which is very organic. So this is very organic. So the things which I used to have in my breakfast, which everyone of us have, right? Or the diet, or the time of workout, or how much you have to put across in workout and all, right? I think all these things are very organic. I need not to shift my daily routine so much or bend it so much to kind of not fit into this. So very organic. I got into this very quick and was very easy to follow, right? So that was the best thing which clicked. Otherwise, I believe most of the time you take a high deviation that I have to do XYZ thing. I have to change my diet completely. I have to take XYZ supplements to kind of catch up to that. So which was not the case. So that clicked with me, and I my biggest takeaway is actually that this is sustainable. That's the biggest takeaway, that this can be done all my life. And I feel positive about doing it actually. I don't feel कि नहीं यार ये कौन करेगा. And obviously it led to so many changes, right? So I'll tell you one more big outcome for me. I never went to gym in my past, like maybe a couple of months here and there, in a very broken way. Never sustained it. Now going through this program, just because I like, one of the reason was that I was motivated, but the other reason is it's so smoothly got baked in into my life, right? I get up in the morning, I go to gym, I hit gym 45 minutes, 1 hour or so. Today, that's it, before going to office and all. But now when I get up in the morning, I don't feel ki kaun jayega. Yeah, there's no excuse in my head. So it's so smoothly baked in. And once you get this result, right? So get motivated. This hasn't happened to me in the past. It was always mundane. It was very flat for me to go to gym कि यार वही same exercise कर रहे हैं ये कर रहे हैं. But I'm now I it's very natural to me. So the whole process being so natural, I think, is the biggest takeaway. There are so many other points about you, Amito. Maybe we'll cover that. But this component, I think, is the reason I'll recommend, not anything else. My transformation, like you said, there is portion of me putting my effort. There's a reason you guiding us and all. But I think the biggest reason I'll recommend your program to anyone else is just because the way you approach it is quite sustainable. It's not ad hoc. It's not where you have to bend your original routine. So I think, yeah, that's what is my biggest achievement, or as in like the takeaway from this program.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, when such good comments come in from you, I feel very, very humbled. That too so early in the morning. So talking of sustainable, Animesh, okay, please ये खुलासा कर दीजिए and let our viewers know. Did you like give up on the things that you like to eat? Did you eat like boiled foods with no salt in it and always eating green leafy vegetables? Was it that, or you were flexible enough to pretty much do what you wanted to do?
Yeah, no, sorry, I was saying this, the point, I'll elaborate it actually.
हाँ.
Like what you said, right? So usually what we end up eating, right? कि आप नाश्ते में कुछ खा रहे हो, there's poha, there's upma, there's something, idli, XYZ, right? Same applies for, let's say, your lunches and dinner. You'll have veggies, you'll have dal, you'll have rice or roti or something, right? So the way I think, Amito, you shaped up the program for me, you first understood that what is my daily habit, right? What do I eat? And you catered them into the program itself, right? You fitted them into the program in a way that I am not getting away from what I'm used to. At the same time, the right components are getting mixed into that. And so I need not to let go of any of my, if I can say, food choices in some sense, and go through the same thing. And there's no, like you said, right? There's no sharp correction of the food habit. There's no need of non like you said, non-salty, non-tasty,
Yeah.
boiled veggies. I never had it in, I'll tell you, I never had it in last 60 days. I never had it in my
Mm.
past experience also. So nothing changed, right? So that's what it is. And that's why I feel that this program is sustainable, because if I eat boiled vegetable for 30 days, 90 days, I'll come up with some outcome. For sure, it'll be a positive outcome. But on the 91st day,
Mm.
when I end your program, or you are not on my head to kind of keep a track of whether I'm doing a great job or not, I leave it on the next day. On the 91st day, I'll go and have something very random, which was not the case with us, right? And that's why, that's the point which I'm saying ki it's sustainable because of the same reason. Same applies for few other things. It was never that you have to hit gym like 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, or something like that. It
Mm.
was a very sharp 45 to 160 minutes sort of program for me in last 80 to 90 days now.
Mm.
Sharp 1 hour gym, which I think we can carve out very easily. So it's not a big deal, right? And then the rest of the activities also were fairly part of my daily activities. So I think that way, no deviation. Yeah, it's working out for me.
I remember talking of sustainable when Animesh and I we had our first call. He's like, dude, you talk to everyone for like 2 hours. How are you sustaining your business model? So you remember that, Animesh? आपने मुझे बोला
Yeah,
था.
yeah, yeah. We discussed that.
I
Yes.
was like, यार मुझे आता नहीं है और कुछ मुझे यही आता है. So definitely now Animesh is more of a friend, more of a brother rather than just a client. So I'm going to make sure that I take some more sustainable business tips for him so that we can make it better for the future ASF superstars to come in regarding business. But abhi ke liye to, there is no other way of, wherein I mean, there's no better way in regards to the fact that I will have to get involved with you personally to understand. Because when people want to make things sustainable, मैं यही कहता हूँ that I'll have to be like a method actor and mimic what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. Because that is where the meat and bones of the program is. Not a very good example because Animesh is a vegetarian. हाँ, so आप तो vegetarian भी हो, तो आपने कैसे कर लिया ये? Vegetarian लोग तो कर ही नहीं पाते. जिम करने
ये
के लिए
भी
तो
आई
नॉनवेज
एम
लगता है.
श्योर देयर इज अ मिथ आउट देयर इन द मार्केट कि वेजिटेरियन के लिए और टफ होता है टू बिल्ड
हाँ.
एनी ऑफ दीज थिंग्स और गो थ्रू इट. And I think there was never a conversation between you and me where this comes out as an excuse or even a discussion point, right? So, and I'm sure there's other ASF superstars also who must be vegetarian and they must be going through, if I can call it as a constraint also,
So many.
that how do you build, right? So there'll be folks. So I think it was never a point of discussion or a concern or a constraint or never we realize कि नहीं इसके कारण नहीं हो रहा है या कुछ करना होगा क्या चेंजेस या समथिंग आई थिंक वाज नेवर अ प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल तो इट वर्कड आउट या.
Great. I'm glad that so many myths are being debunked and fitness is being understood for what it actually is, right? And it is a customizable, sustainable approach that should be so in tune with your life that you can follow it for the rest of your life, just like Animesh said. So, Animesh, with future plans क्या है? बताओ. अब मतलब तेरा
Okay,
केस
before
चूज कर लिया.
before getting
हाँ.
sorry, before getting into the future plan, I wanted to cover one more point. You touched
हाँ.
upon that. That's
Yeah.
what was sparking to discuss. I think one more reason which clicked with me when we started, and which again is the reason which because of which I'll recommend any of my friends or colleagues or any of my connects to kind of sign up with you, right? Uh, is actually the how, if I'm not sure customize is the word, how well you connect with us as individuals, right? Most of us, right? So you understand, and I remember that discussion which we had, right? Where I was not able to land or I was not able to find out the point because of which I was not able to follow the fitness regime or fitness
Hmm.
sort of discipline in some sense in last 4 or 5 years or maybe more. While I understand that this is needed, but I was not able to follow. And we had almost like a 2 hour conversation. It was planned to be an
Hmm.
hour conversation or so. It went on for almost 2 hours and would have extended more, I'm sure, if we wouldn't have concluded that. But so he, like Amito, you gave time at that time, right? You went deeper to understand what is the root cause of I'm not able to follow. So your approach of connecting with an individual to understand what is the root cause. I can imagine there are so many. I'm not bad mouthing anyone else, but I'm saying that there are so many coaches or so many programs, right? They do it like a very set template. It's a very flat approach that this is the so they are focused on input कि
Hmm.
हमने अपना काम कर दिया अभी आउटकम है कि नहीं डजंट मैटर राइट which is the worst thing to do, right? So your approach has been more outcome driven. So you are trying to take all those insights that why it's not working, why this individual, where he or she is, and what has to be fixed, right? And it's not just the physical fitness part of it, it's the mental block also कि आप क्या नहीं सोच पा रहे हो, आप क्या नहीं कर पा रहे हो. And that whole program, I hope I wasn't able to give you enough reason to scold me. But I think that your involvement, I can see it with the other ASF superstars, that your involvement with each and every individual and your connect with them at a human level, right? Where you have been very polite with them, make them understand, and thoda thoda yahan wahan se sarcastic comments also. So all those approach are so friendly.
Hmm.
And no one takes away that nahi yaar ye coach to grill kar raha hai. There's no grilling, right? So it lands, it's hard hitting at the same time, not grilling. I think that whole approach is so friendly, so smooth. And that's why that whole environment is so like a brotherhood environment, right? Everyone helps each other. And I think that is one more reason because otherwise I can imagine if I have to imagine how a coach approaches a fitness regime can be very grilling, can be very offhand, कि मैंने अपना बता दिया, तुम नहीं कर पा रहे, तुम्हारा रीजन एंड ऑल, राइट? यू, आई थिंक यू टेक दैट feedback very sharply, you work on those aspects with that individual and then land it with that individual. I think this approach is very, even if someone is not disciplined, they obviously they have to build towards that, but I think this approach itself will motivate them to just do a way better job when they're signing up with you.
Thank you so much. I'm really humbled with such beautiful words that you've said. And I mean, Animesh is right. मुझे तो यही लगता है that I'm not dealing with robots here, right? So a template wouldn't work. We are all individuals with, our own share of insecurities, our own share of intricate emotions, our own share of, challenges that we have with our lifestyle. So, I don't see any better way than doing this. But I'm glad it landed right where it was supposed to. So, Animesh, future plans बताओ और फिर ये भी बताओ, final question है, फिर we'll conclude because we have a call after this also, कि what would you say to the people who are watching this video, right? They're in a similar position like yours. They're probably, they've been procrastinating their fitness because of their
Yeah.
work life, because of, how things just don't work out in a modern day scenario for a working professional or an entrepreneur, or on people living in metros like us. So they want to get started, but there's something still holding them back. So what would your message be to them? And पहला part of the question was कि अब future plans क्या है? तेरा केजी तो lose कर लिया, अब क्या करेंगे?
No, I think I mentioned that future plan is to kind of maintain it. Me and Amitoj have signed up something that we'll try to do one more,
Hmm.
if I can say, good-looking outcome. We'll figure out how we'll do it.
We'll
But
definitely do it.
that is one. But other than that, I think the idea is to kind of, Amitoj, we discussed that you'll give me a maintenance regime in some sense. So we'll try to maintain it. I don't want to lose this. The way I look, if I can say that, and the way I feel.
Hmm.
Importantly, the way I feel, I don't want to lose this feeling. So I want to keep doing it. I want to keep following it. So want to feel like this as long as possible, as long as I'm living. So this is, like I said, this is a like a way great transformation from me. I was a person A. I'm not now a person B. This person B has to live the rest of my life, right? I don't want that person A to come back. So that's
Wonderful.
one thing which I want to follow. On the other side, like whoever is looking, like people, like I said, right, people do procrastinate any of these things. I think the reason is the mental block is people believe this to be a project. एक प्रोजेक्ट है, वो 3-4 महीने करना होगा, फिर हो जाएंगी चीजें, बट दिट्स अ प्रोजेक्ट. लेट मी फाइंड आउट अ ट्रिगर पॉइंट, लेट मी फाइंड आउट अ डे व्हेन आई कैन स्टार्ट थिंग्स. मुहूर्त निकालते हैं लोग कहीं ना कहीं एक प्रोजेक्ट
So
का.
true, man. So true.
So I think that is the gap, right? This is not a project, this is a lifestyle. You have to do it. I'm taking a very bad example. It's like brushing,
Hmm.
right? आपको ब्रश रोज करना है, तो आपको अपने फिटनेस के लिए भी कुछ चीजें फॉलो करनी है, जिससे कि आपका बॉडी, आपका माइंड, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल आर परफॉर्मिंग एट देयर टॉप लेवल. If you don't feel fresh because you don't brush in the morning, you understand, right? You have to do it daily. Exactly the same thing. And the good thing is, and that's where I'm recommending again, Amitosh, that the way you approached it, you made it like not a project, but a lifestyle. So I
Hmm.
think I'll recommend most of the folks don't think it like a project. Don't be indexed on what will be the outcome. Just incorporate it as part of your lifestyle. Amitosh will help you do that very, very smoothly, very, very easily, and it'll work out. So just kind of let go of that mental block, get into the system, and then the outcomes you'll get is you cannot imagine. Like you cannot imagine right now.
Wonderful, wonderful. What a beautiful example Animesh has given. Brushing wala. That if you're not brushing your teeth, you know that there's something wrong. Similarly, if you're not taking care of your body, right, which is your temple, which is where your soul lives in, it means that something has to be done. And the fun part is that जो आपने तीन चार चीजें करनी है अपनी फिटनेस के लिए वो मुश्किल नहीं. The whole and soul process is just finding those things and finding a way to execute them easily and seamlessly. Yahi karna hai, and that's great. So now Animesh has spilled the beans, so I'll just tell you before we end the interview that yes, we are going to be doing a peak week with him as well. Because if his friend can see such amazing results, there is no reason why another ASF superstar who's so dedicated, who's never given me a reason to complain, shouldn't see the best of himself. So probably this interview will be posted online when his peak week is done, and you are probably seeing the before and after pictures after his peak week right now. And he looks amazing. Don't you guys agree? Okay, so I guess, guys, this is it. I seriously hope that you received some value, some hope out of this interview. and most importantly, got motivated to start your fitness journey with us, not tomorrow, day after, or 6 months later, but today itself. So, just before I go, I'd like to say that whatever your fitness goals, we here at Team ASF are here to help you achieve them in a quick, rightful, and sustainable manner. I'll soon be back with another testimonial. Until then, I am Coach Amitoj, and with me is my beloved ASF superstar Animesh, and we are both signing off and saying bye bye to you. So, bye, Animesh.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Take care.
My pleasure.
All right. चलो इसको करते हैं